Taiwan is bursting with heaps of fun places to explore. Join me, Amber Hatfield, as I hit up travel hotspots, soak up some culture, and hunt down hidden gems. Let's go! Hi, welcome back to another episode of Let's Go. I'm your host, Amber Hatfield, and on today's show, I have an interview for you with Ivy Chen. She has been teaching expats about Taiwanese cooking since 1997. She also contributes to articles about food and cooking. She's been in several magazines, and she's also been on TV shows. You might have seen her on Netflix's Somebody Feed Phil. She's also filmed with Ainsley Harriott as well. She has also written books and recently in 2023 published a book called Made in Taiwan, Recipes and Stories from the Island Nation, which was co-authored with Clarissa Way. So in today's episode, I'll be talking to Ivy. She's got lots of great things to tell me about. This will be a two-part episode. So if you listen to this episode, hang on for next week because there'll be more, and let's get into it. Today I'm here with Ivy Chen, and I would love to talk to you about your background and what got you into cooking. So I actually saw you before on the Somebody Feed Phil show.
Thank you.
And so I'd just love to know a little bit about kind of your journey into the culinary world and like what got you into that.
Yeah, it's quite interesting. I never planned it. But I'm always very interested in food and cooking when I was a little girl. Mm-hmm. I grew up in the countryside in the south of Taiwan, and it's a big family. And I'm the eldest in the family, so I need to do a lot of chore with all the family. So back to like 50 years ago in the countryside, we don't have a proper restaurant. So if you have a family event, celebration, or like a temple worship, we just invite the neighbors and then cook at home. Mm-hmm. So that's how the party happened in the countryside. Mm-hmm. So I've been helping the family since really young age. And then a lot of cooking technique from grandparents and the family, auntie, my mom. And my dad is a foodie, so he always brings some idea home for my mom to create a new dish. So I grew up in this environment.
Okay, so you kind of just learned it naturally. You didn't go to study cooking specifically.
I did. After I married, my husband also liked to entertain people at home. So I don't mind to cook for 10 people once a while. It's a happy, it's a joy. People getting together, right? Mm-hmm. But in the beginning, I only cook like a hot pot dumpling, and the people do themselves. So I feel a bit embarrassed every time cook the same dish. So then I went to learn something from different chefs, from some private chef. And after a couple of years, I went to culinary school in Taipei.
Okay.
Yeah. Uh-huh. So I just love cooking. And the reason I went to school is to actually learn Western cooking. Before that, I learned all Chinese and Taiwanese. Mm-hmm. But then in the school, learn more Western. The biggest reason is both my husband and me like drinking wine. So that's the reason make me to learn more Western, like Italian, French, to pair wine.
Right. Okay. Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Okay. And so how did you go from learning your cooking classes, like studying culinary school, to then beginning to teach cooking?
It's an accident.
Okay.
I live in the expat neighborhood in Taipei.
Okay.
So in my neighborhood, we have Taipei American School, Taipei Japanese School, and Taipei European School. So 30 years ago, it's easy to bump into foreigner on the street, right? Mm-hmm. And in that time, I met so many foreigner working in Taipei. And then we became friends. They just asked me if I can show them around. Mm-hmm. And as a housewife, I shop every day in the traditional market. Mm-hmm. So I said, why not? Just follow me. So then I brought them to the market, and they like me. They like the way how I introduce food. My English is not good at that time. Mm-hmm. I don't even know how to say kong xin cai. I just translated that hollow stem vegetable, okay? And people love me. So I think I learned from that occasion. People love you, they will correct you. Mm-hmm. And yeah, so we became friends, and then the foreigner asked me to teach them cooking.
Okay.
And by that time, I already went to the culinary school. So went to school is just for my hobby. I did not want to do any business in the restaurant. But when people ask me if I can teach them some Chinese food, I say, why not? I was trained as a chef, but just never work in the restaurant. If you trust me, come. People really trust me and like me. Then after one class, they ask more. And that's how I never stop.
Oh, that's so great. Yeah, that's such a great story.
I did not plan. It's accident.
So can you share like what exactly it is that you do now?
Okay. So been teaching for 25 years.
Wow.
Yeah. It's over 99% of my customers are foreigner.
Okay.
Either living in Taiwan or visiting. So I really enjoy that, meeting different culture. I'm not just teaching, I learn something from people too. So this is what make me love my job and continue to do this. And also, since the first time of my class is like not planned. So the recipe also improvise. People just think and ask. So now I still teach private, tailored. Okay, I can accommodate a very special diet. I've been teaching many different diet of people, like not just food diet, also religion reason.
Okay.
So I can accommodate that diet, and I pretty enjoy that. So this is more of my classes running now, and so it's a small scale. Very small, and I have a small cooking studio. Yeah, so I think for a special diet, this you cannot do a big group.
Yeah, great. So I would love to know kind of how you cooking and teaching people from other culture, like how do you think that's how have you kind of connected with people through that? Do you feel like you can connect with people on a certain level through food?
Yes, I do. I'm getting more confident now because I meet people really from the world. If you see a map, I'll show you later. I have a world map at home. I have so many pins that all my customer come from. And I collect all the pins except Iceland so far.
Wow.
So you can imagine how many people came to my class, and including many professional chefs. In the beginning, I don't really know. It's like a group of people come here. They have different nationality. Okay, it's expat in Taiwan. So I just try to figure out first from the language. So it's also, for me now, I can tell different English from England, from Canada, from American, from Australia. Okay, so it's like a very interesting part. You listen to some song, like this is from special singer, right? And the language also present a culture. And I feel very comfortable to learn this, and then very interesting. So during the cooking process, people will talk, because when I introduce Taiwanese food, people are curious, and this is a pretty new experience for them, and they will ask questions. So in their question, I will think why. Some question for me, it's very natural. I actually never think about that.
Okay.
Grew up in the culture, you don't think that that's something special. But when people has question, you will think why they ask, why they want to know. And then I will try to give an answer. But I'm not all good in the beginning. Some question I can answer, some I don't. Then I will leave for the next time. And then I go study and research for that. So this is how I appreciate and discover food also so different between culture for people's understanding.
Yeah, I think it's really interesting. I'm sure different people from different places probably have kind of a different feeling towards the food that you make in your class as well. Like for some people, maybe it's very, very different and special. And for others, maybe they're a bit more used to that kind of cooking ingredients and things like that. It's probably quite a lot of differences.
Yes.
So I'd love to know what kind of dishes it is that you teach. So you said that you were kind of trained in Western cooking, but do you teach a lot of Taiwanese flavors, a lot of Taiwanese dishes in your classes? Is that what you're mainly teaching?
Yes. So
Okay.
basically Taiwanese and Chinese. Because when people visit here, they don't look for Italian food. Okay? Of course I do. But they are eager to learn any food about this country. So of course they will look for Taiwanese food or Chinese food. Most of people know we have a lot of Chinese influence. And some people also know we have Japanese influence and maybe including Dutch. So if people come visit a country, you study a little bit history about that country, they know the food is different. Most of the dishes they ask is Taiwanese and Chinese,
Okay.
because this is the best that Taiwan can offer. Okay, but still, I have some occasion people like the exotic food, Western style. Like some people ask Malaysian curry, okay, or a French dessert, chocolate mousse, or something, because they want to celebrate. I have a French couple came from China, working there, and they ask to make a chocolate mousse, and they also asked me to buy a wine for them to celebrate their anniversary in the class. So in this case, I'm so happy to do that for them, and also enjoy the interaction between their celebration and my culture.
Yeah, that sounds really fun. You get to share in that experience together.
Yeah.
So are there any kind of favorite dishes you think that people love to learn, favorite Taiwanese dishes that people often come to you wanting to learn or that you like to teach?
Okay, this will be very different. Who depends on where you are.
Okay.
Where my customer are from.
Okay.
So for example, if they are like a European, European don't know Taiwanese food a lot, even Chinese. Okay, I know Chinese food in Europe is very different from Asia or American that people know Chinese food. So they actually don't have very good idea. Then they will just follow the tourist guide. Okay, for example, they choose beef noodle soup, 3-cup chicken, and maybe they think some dumpling or the eggplant. They always like an aubergine. So then they will choose the eggplant. And most of my American, I have about more than 50% Taiwanese American or Chinese American. And they already know many Taiwanese food or Chinese food from their family or when they grew up. So they will tend more ask for like they want the braised pork, they want some rice bun. That is less well known. They want some rice noodle, or they want to do some bawang. Okay, that bawang is kind of chewy bun, big size, steamed, and with pork filling. So for Taiwanese people, they just know this, and they want to do this. They probably grow up somewhere. They have experience eating this kind of food. So that will be very different. And Taiwanese also always ask braised pork rice. That's like our national dish and very comforting. But European never heard about this.
Yeah. So are there some foods that you particularly like to teach? Like, are there certain things that you like that you prefer to teach people how to do? Or do you just love to do anything?
Okay, I actually prefer to do some less well-known dish. I want to promote Taiwan more. But somehow I also feel very, very proud by teaching a special technique.
Okay.
If people know, wow, this is must learn, and I will be like a master after this class, and that will be 小笼包.
Okay.
小笼包 is the require very high technique and detail. So this is the most dish I like to teach. Even it's very duplicate, very repeatedly. People ask every week. For me, it's kind of boring teach, but I still enjoy it because I feel very, very proud to teach this.
Yeah. So I guess after your class, do you get a lot of students come back to you and say, with their feedback, like they are so happy, maybe they have cooked this food for somebody else, or they've cooked it again when they've gone back home, and they're very proud that they're able to cook this now?
I do. You are right. So many people show me how they cook for their family and how their family enjoy the food. And like an Australian doctor has been cooking my beef noodle soup for many years, and say that the beef noodle soup is their family's favorite, the most favorite. And also another best thing is I have many return guests.
Okay.
So they come into Taiwan again and again and come to my class again and again. So I really cherish this experience, and some of them we became friends since they have come so many times. So the highest records, I have one Japanese lady came to my class 8 times.
Wow.
Yes.
She must be an expert cook now.
She's now expert. So I also visit her in Japan, and we share cooking in her kitchen and talk about, she invite friends to have introduced Taiwanese food to offer her friends. So it's quite a nice party.
Yeah, that's really nice. Oh, it's so great that you can just connect with people like that from different places in the world and become friends with them as well. It's really fun, yeah. So that's all for the first episode of my interview with Ivy Chen. It was so great talking to her. She's very personable, really easy to get along with, and I just absolutely love hearing about all her different experiences with people from different cultures, learning to cook Taiwanese cuisine, and also about what she loves to cook as well. So in next week's episode, we're going to be talking more. We're going to talk a little bit about her tours that she does, a bit more about her classes, and also about other work that she's participated in. So come back for another episode next week if you'd love to hear about that. Just talking to Ivy made me really think about food, and also made me very hungry, but made me think about how great it would be to learn Taiwanese cooking. So if you would be interested in learning any Taiwanese cooking, you could also visit her website, which is kitchenivy.com, and you can find out information about her classes, her books, and all those kinds of things as well. So if you're interested in that, please go and check it out. And I will see you next week for another episode of Let's Go.
Catch the latest RTI news, programs, previews, and more on our website, en.rti.org.tw.